Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Sundar and my trusty semi-check tool, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer your questions that you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers.
So let's get on with it.
What is the advantage of using a recorder such as Atomos compared to recording on camera?
The larger display, for one, it's easier to shoot videos. Another one is when you're on shoots and you have someone else looking at the viewfinder, it's useful to have a second display. That's for professional shoots. For me personally, it's more of a bigger display, since sometimes I'm in front of the camera and I need to know what's going on. Like when I'm shooting a product, a phone, the camera is above my shoulder, so I can't really see what's happening, in which case it's useful. Additionally, it is a recorder. That's one of its major functionalities. With some cameras like the A7S, you don't get inbuilt 4K recording, though you get 4K out from it, with something like an Atomos you can record 4K. Since you're using a SSD in it, it's more uncompressed. It's easier to, sometimes there's more data. It doesn't have to deal with the compression that's usually associated with SD cards or XQD cards in the case of the FS7.
Does upgrading
from the start.
Sundar, please don't discriminate. Does upgrading from Mi 5 to OnePlus 3T make any major change? Don't discriminate.
I wouldn't personally upgrade from a Mi 5 to a OnePlus 3T because that's a Snapdragon 820, a lower clocked 820. This is a higher clocked 821. But it's more or less kind of similar. Yes, you might see a minor boost, and it is a much larger display, AMOLED, closer to stock Android and all. But I wouldn't really upgrade because the Mi 5 is still quite a decent phone. So I would probably hold on to it till the OnePlus 4 or whatever it is that they're gonna call it comes out. It should again come in at around the same price, right? So you'd have to, unless and until you're somebody who switches phones every few months, I wouldn't advise upgrading.
Exactly. Yeah, you bought the Mi 5 for a reason. You probably liked it a lot. So upgrading to a OnePlus 3, it's not a major upgrade. So I guess you should wait for the next OnePlus if you're really a fan of OnePlus. Why don't you review drones?
It is not legal in India. I have the Mi drone sitting with customs for about 8 months now, and it's almost gone. I've given up hope. You need a license for it, so I've been trying to get that stuff. It's kind of difficult. So yeah.
There won't be any smartphone with Snapdragon 835 because of Samsung until April. What's your thought?
Yeah, I feel like the media is blowing this out of proportion, to be very honest. Like, let's assume that you have, what do you expect Samsung to do? Samsung knows that they have a huge amount of demand for their S series. So of course, if you're Qualcomm, you want to sell it to your biggest buyer, which in this case is going to be Samsung. So of course, Qualcomm is going to give their initial stocks to Samsung, and that's exactly what you'd want Samsung to do, right? Have enough stocks. You don't want to go stand in a line all night only to be said, we don't have, I'm not going to say the name of the phone, but it rhymes with Blyphone. We don't have Blyphones in stock at the Apple store. You don't really want that scenario to happen, right? Only to have people, I love Samsung or hate Samsung, but when the S7 or whatever phone goes live, you don't see so many people selling them at higher prices on eBay and whatnot. So I like the fact that Samsung is trying to have stocks here, and of course, as the biggest buyer, Qualcomm is going to treat them with, give them priority. That's how capitalism works. So I'm not really pissed at Samsung for it. So those are my thoughts on the same. If other brands have to wait, they have to wait. Maybe come up with better phones. Maybe come up with more sensible prices. And I'm talking about you, HTC and LG. Maybe if that happened, they wouldn't be at a position where they're playing catch up to Samsung. And they could probably hoard chips and make Samsung come out of the 821. What do you say?
That's a pretty nice business tactic, I would say.
Again, not a tactic.
Okay.
There is so much demand. There's only certain.
Definitely. And okay, maybe the outcome is something that's an incentive, sort of.
Yeah,
Are the
kind of. It's
brands being
just
pushed to launch their flagships after April? I mean,
after
after the
April or with the
S8.
821.
Yeah.
So that's how it's always been, right? Like when Sony had with the PS2 or something, yeah, when Sony had the market, there were so many games that were like exclusive to Sony for a while or for a period of a couple of months and whatnot. That's what a monopoly does.
Do you think companies are involved in leaks of upcoming devices to create hype and be in news?
Yes, I don't think it. I know it for a fact. I've been approached a couple of times by certain people, is like, from the PR agency representing the company saying, we have leaked Antutu benchmark, so you want to do a video around. I'm like, aren't you from this brand? Yeah, we are the PR, but we have some leaked benchmarks. Do you want to do a video around it? Like, wait a minute, you represent the brand, but you're giving me leaked benchmarks? Yeah, you don't know that's how it works. No, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, please, no, hell no.
Maybe even they're not supposed to know what the leaks are. They somehow got their hands on it.
The PR representing the company, nah.
Okay. Yeah, even then, they shouldn't be asking
Exactly.
anyone. Please tell me the best 5-inch phone under 18K. Camera is my preference.
5-inch phone under 18K. Honestly, camera, 5-inch phone under 18K, there's only one option. The Zenfone 3. I wouldn't really suggest it though. I would prefer you to pay a little bit more and pick up a Mi 5.
Mi 5, yeah. Your views on Microsoft or HoloLens?
So augmented reality is the future, it's kind of cool if you've seen the HoloLens videos, to see stuff pop right up in front of you and stuff like that. So I'm at least watching the videos, I was very, very impressed with the HoloLens. So I would love to see that on a grander scale with more brands coming up, but it's going to take a while. But that totally like changes stuff, right? So you want to watch a movie, you just turn your head, look at a wall, have it projected. You don't need a TV. It all happens through the HoloLens, and it's stuff like that. It's kind of like if you're a 90s kid, it's like, or at least if you grew up in the 90s, it's kind of the stuff you imagine. It's what you'd imagine the future would be like, and the future's here. It's kind of mind-boggling. Like when I initially saw those videos, so I'm very interested in it, and I hope to see it implemented on a grander scale soon.
Like all of a sudden, he's into projectors.
Yeah, right now I've got a projector, so that's.
Do you think Nokia will be a brand who will replace Mi, Le, Echo, or Nokia will be more like Samsung, HTC, or Sony in budget?
The first thing they do is launch the Nokia 6 with a Snapdragon 430 at about 16 to 18K. So do you really see them as competition to Xiaomi and Le, Echo, or do you see them as competition to Samsung, HTC, Sony, blah, blah, blah? So you tell me, what do you think?
I feel cheated as OnePlus 3 and the 3T have the same footprint, but they gave higher capacity battery to the 3T. Why is such inequality? What's your opinion?
So guys, technology changes with time. So of course, in the 6 months between the OnePlus 3 and the 3T, they did manage to fit a higher capacity or tinker around with the battery to get a higher capacity for the 3T. So I wouldn't really count it as cheating unless and until, I don't know, they told you it has a 3400 mAh battery, but your phone only had a 3000 mAh battery.
Yeah.
So technology is always going to improve. I paid 50K for a S5 2 years back or 3 years back, and today they're going to sell a S8 at close to 50. So does this mean Samsung's cheating me? Not really, right?
Yeah. The 3T is an upgrade from the OnePlus 3 to a certain extent. So there's got to be some upgrades, right? So they went with the 821 and a 10% larger battery. So there's got to be something to call it a minor upgrade.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word upgrade though. I'd probably go refresh or mid-cycle refresh. But yeah,
Increment.
Makes sense.
Don't you guys get bored with smartphone reviews? No interesting innovations in recent past.
Hell yes. That is why I did the PC build, but that's not yet complete. But yeah, that's why I'm doing PC builds. I have a game review coming out, and there are a few other interesting things I'm trying to implement. It just doesn't depend on me alone, and so there are a few things that need to fall into place. If they do, you'd see different content. I'm just trying to get things to work out. Yes, smartphones have gotten increasingly boring, at least at the flagship level. The mid-range has gotten increasingly interesting because we've been seeing close to flagship performance on like phones priced at a fraction of the flagship price. So that has been very interesting. So what do you think?
Exactly, but I agree with you on the mid-range thing, because last year, year by year, it's getting better. It's just getting better. It's getting close to flagship. Whether the performance or battery life,
the
or
gap
the camera
is decreasing.
Decreasing. So last year we saw a lot of phones with good battery life but mediocre camera. But this year it's kind of getting better. The Honor 6X, the Redmi Note 4,
cool one.
So
what do you think about? Are you bored with smartphones?
Kinda, not okay. I wouldn't say bored.
But wouldn't you feel happier doing something fresher, like non-smartphone?
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I gave him the budget VR video, and he's still not done it. So anyway, moving on to the next
VR
one.
Play review.
Yeah, you can. So that's his answer for the next, I don't know, probably 3 weeks.
I'm kind of interested in smartwatches too. So
again, a misfit, never got around to doing it, so I had to do it.
Yeah.
So you can review it. You can review it. So guys, you can see the Misfit review in 2018 January. Or if you ask me, if I'm going to ask him a date today, it'd probably give me February the 30th. But God knows. Moving on.
Tell me your daily routine. This is for both Sundar and Ash. And Sundar never discriminates. Thank you, buddy.
Okay, see, this time I picked the questions, and I picked this question, and I actually let Sundar pick his own set of questions, and I compared it. This question was picked by Sundar as well. Probably one of 3 questions we overlapped on. Why did he pick it? Somebody says Sundar never discriminates. That always goes in. If you say Sundar discriminates, he probably is not going to pick it. But yeah, So anyway, coming back. So wake up by around 8 or 9 in the morning. Watch The Walking Dead. Around noon,
if you're talking
Ash
about
a call.
me, I don't wake up at 8 or 9.
Give Ash a call and say, hey man, software book me tickets, like one of the movies. I'd be back later. And then around 3 or 4, come into work, probably.
You know what? I can answer for myself.
Hang on. Once or twice a week, come into work. Watch The Walking Dead on the work computer for a couple of hours. Work for about an hour, hour and a half. Finish like 3 or 4 speed tests.
3
And then go back home, watch The Walking Dead, go to sleep. That's Sundar's day. Hey, jokes apart, how's your day like?
Wake up. Okay, there's not any specific time I really stick to, unlike him. So on college days, I wake up around 7:30. I leave when... Ouch. What did I do?
Your knees were like...
So the rule is for our elbows.
So then what, I cut my legs off and place them somewhere before coming for Ash answers?
All right. So I come here on weekends, and if I have any work left that I thought I could finish by Sunday evening, then I come in on weekdays as well, 1 or 2 days. So that's my office routine. My college routine is just kind of the same old thing that almost everybody does. Go to college, come back, chill.
So do you actually study?
Once in a while. Okay. During exams.
So for me these days, I'm supposed to wake up by 6, but I actually end up waking up more like 7-ish. So some days I do wake up at 6, but 7-ish, and go straight, sit at the PC, read through comments for a bit, or start working on the next day's video. On that day's video, I'm sorry. So till about 2, 3-ish, I work, make sure the video goes out at 3. Sometimes it gets delayed till 5 or whatever. If I manage to, if it's an easier video, if it's something like Ash Talks, I finish it a lot earlier, then I'm working on the next day's video. So this is where the PC stuff comes in, right? So I don't have dedicated days for the PC stuff, so that needs to be done on other days. So once a different video is done, I need to use the remaining time to work on the PC stuff. That's why it keeps getting delayed. So after 3 or 5 or whenever it is the video goes live, I spend an hour and a half replying to comments. And even in the morning, I spend about, from time to time, like 10-15 minutes replying to comments. So it's around 2 hours of replying to comments, Twitter from time to time. If I get the chance, Periscope for half hour. And about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock-ish, you just like go out somewhere, chill for a bit. Come back by around 7, 8, 9, 10-ish. And yeah, that's it. Have dinner, watch some TV, currently watching The Blacklist. And if you guys haven't watched Riverdale, this is just the pilot has aired. If you're someone who grew up reading Archies and whatnot, Riverdale seems interesting. I just saw the first episode yesterday. It's nice.
What happened to Honor 6X review? Sundar Don't Discriminate. It's getting ready. I'll probably finish it by today or tomorrow. You're watching this on a Sunday.
Yeah, so
the review is already done, probably.
Probably. That's the key word there.
Okay.
And guys, just an FYI, if you notice there are so many questions that says Sundar Don't Discriminate. I didn't really read it. I just picked the questions based on the questions themselves alone. And then I realized there are so many Sundar Don't Discriminate. And I've never seen that on questions in the past. Somebody's been filtering all the discriminate questions. And he's been complaining to me that we only have 15 questions. Last week we had a 22-minute episode because he said those are all the questions we have. Or the way he put it on camp, software, picked, whatever. Now I understand why there have been questions. Move on, next one.
Hugo Barra resigned from Xiaomi. Advent of the downfall of a great company.
No one man is greater than a company or a brand. The brand always wins. So Sachin quit, the Indian team's still going strong. The Rock left WWE still did quite well.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, so, no one man is bigger than the entity itself. So yeah, it's sad that, for Xiaomi, it's sad that Hugo is leaving, but yeah, Xiaomi probably do well. Hugo isn't selling phones. Hugo's just, well, of course they can't pull off the kissing fingerprints part anymore. But barring that, they should be good. He was great as a presenter. He was great. He could probably sell sand in the desert. He was great doing what he does. But they could find someone else probably. It's fine. What do you think?
I feel the same. Okay. Will an active fingerprint scanner drain our battery? Not really.
No. It's not like you have an option, right? Can you make it a passive scanner? It's an active scanner, and you've seen it on so many phones, like, the Redmi Note 3, the Redmi Note 4, and the battery life has been great. So, yeah.
It's going to activate after we touch it, right?
Yeah, but it's waiting for you to touch it.
Yeah.
That's being active. Dude, how YouTube offline video works, does that count the views or not? Tell me more about it. Please tell me more. Tell me more about it. Tell me.
Technically it should, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
It actually does. Does. So once you go back online and you go online, it is supposed to update and count the number of views or whatever. So that's how it works. Rumor has it that the SD835 will be the first on Galaxy devices. If so, what are your expectations on the LG G5? It's actually the G6 with Snapdragon 821. So as I said, LG's been screwing up a little bit. Again, with G5, let's take those core fans, LG's core following who went with, yes, LG's doing modularity, right? We are going to go with LG. And again, guys, there's this traditional thinking that tier 1 brands are much better than Chinese brands. But here we see a Chinese brand, Lenovo, who owns Moto, who made a promise of Moto Mod support on even phones going forwards, and they've stuck to that kind of 5.5 inch form factor. And unofficially, I've heard rumors that which are from very reliable sources, that the next generation Moto series are also gonna be not just the Z. Quite a few from maybe the Z Play or whatever are gonna have support for Moto Mod. So it's kind of sad to see LG do that, drop their support. I would be really pissed if I bought the camera add-on or something that's not gonna work. That just worked with the G5. So given that even the core base is kind of disappointed with LG right now, I wouldn't be interested with the G6. I know they're gonna put a very good camera on it, but barring that, I'm not gonna be interested in the G6, even if it came out with SD835. So 821, LG digging deeper hole.
Yeah, exactly. Even when it had the same chip as the other flagships, when the G5 launched, it kind of didn't make a lasting impression on them. So,
but at least LG got a lot of coverage for the mods, not the mods, whatever, their friends or whatever it is that they call. But right now with them abandoning it, it's
kind of feels like they were just experimenting with the modularity.
Okay. In a smartphone, which type of camera is better, sensor size or aperture size? This is more like asking somebody what's better in a bike, bigger tank or better mileage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a either or. It's both are important. You can't really pick one over the other. So yes, Sumit, that's the answer. What's performance rating for Sundar in 2016? More expected, excellent, on target. So Ramakrishnan, you're working in some corporate stuff, right? So yeah, again, I keep saying stuff a lot today. I like saying stuff. Anyway, what's your performance rating, Sundar, 2016?
What's the performance rating for Sundar in 2016? I think you're supposed to answer that.
What do you think?
There are two C4 E-Tex tagged.
I know. I'm just asking you, what is your opinion on it?
Okay, I think you can take number 3 out of the equation.
On target is gone. Okay, more expected or excellent?
That you should say.
What is your opinion? I know what my opinion is. What do you think?
I don't know. Okay, what does it mean?
More expected or excellent? You want to phone a friend?
Audience poll.
Audience poll is... No. We'll get to the audience poll later. But what do you say? Okay, you know what? Let's leave it at audience poll. More expected, excellent. And Ramakrishnan, I'm going to actually, tweak it a little bit and say, add an option saying stop watching Walking Dead.
Stop watching Walking Dead.
Okay, stop watching Walking Dead. SWWD. That's option number 3. What are your individual picks for the most and least aptly priced smartphones of 2016?
Aptly as in...
Best priced.
Okay.
+3 is my pick. iPhone 7 is your pick?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely the OnePlus 3 and the 3T, and apart from that, even the Z2 Plus.
Z2 Plus. Fair enough. Least aptly priced smartphone. You guys know my answer. I'm not even going to say it. I'm so sure that you guys know my answer. And the phone even has the year in the title, so that's my clue for you. But I'm very, very sure you guys know my answer. If you do, leave it in the comments below. Boom. What's your favorite least aptly priced phone? You can't use the one I'm using because spoilers.
HTC Desire 10 Lifestyle. Oh, you forgot that.
That's the one. No, mine is still a better pick, but still, that's the one with the... What was that? What was the chip?
410.
Yeah, 410. And the price?
16 or 17, I guess.
But wasn't that launched in 2017?
No, 2016.
2016.
Towards the end of 2016.
And people wonder why HTC is doing too well. Why aren't you covering HTC phones? Because no one cares, dude. No one cares. What happened to the setup tour? By the way, we have forgotten the VR video and now we don't care.
28 questions.
29.
And I thought I was...
28. Okay.
And I thought I'd escape.
Yep. So Vairag absolutely does not care about your video.